Hey everybody, welcome to the Gootz Cast. It's your host, Ric Gootz. We're here with the Raw Report for Monday, June 29th, 2020. I
Yes.
have a feeling that this podcast is going to go until 2021. We're never leaving the Performance Center. Andrew Lee, your thoughts?
No, we're not. We're the Performance Center is my second home right now.
Let me tell you something. If I learned anything from tonight's Raw, if this virus gets out of control and in December Vince only has access to Buddy Murphy and Ricochet, we are watching these two wrestlers go wrestle Iron matches every fucking week for 8 weeks if we have to. Like he will not stop these
If
shows.
the virus gets out of control.
It is going to get. I mean, it already is. I mean, if it gets worse.
If? All right. Oh, what was out of control was this Raw. What the heck was this?
This was a
Um,
weird Raw. This
yeah.
was. I was surprised. I'll give them this, but also I got a lot of bad things to say about this Raw. But I was surprised they didn't show any old matches because I thought for sure that the roster would have been so depleted they would have to show old
Actually,
matches.
before we get into this Raw, can we go over the background of this Raw? Like when was do we know when this was filmed on
This was filmed
Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. So this was after they said that they tested everybody on a Friday. They didn't like the test or something. They
They
filmed
retested people.
SmackDown on Friday, but then they decided to retest on Saturday and then do Raw on Saturday.
Yeah, they
So
filmed.
can I ask if they did that, that means you didn't get the results of the test while you recorded this, while you did the Raw show?
I think like the tests, some tests come back right away, some tests don't. But like you can get it, if you have COVID, you can take a test on a Saturday and it could say you don't have it. But then it won't show up in your system like until Wednesday.
So
So
how long do you have to wait to get the results of the test? Like if I took the test now, how long
you
does it
would get
wait?
it. You would get it like in a few minutes, I guess. I don't know. But a
A
lot of these
few
tests aren't.
minutes?
I think I know a lot. I mean, I don't know. I
Oh,
heard a lot of these tests aren't the best.
so they so that means like on Saturday they tested everybody at like say 10 o'clock in the morning, and then they're like, oh, okay, you guys are all
Yeah,
negative.
and then they
It's
wrestle it
11
too.
o'clock. Yeah, it's like 12 o'clock. Let's record the show. Okay, I'll just try to
Jasmine, come
get it.
here, stupid. Sorry, my dog.
All right, it's all right. So before we get into the show, we want to talk about. Do you want to talk about people who are absent from the show?
Yeah, there was no Liv Morgan. There was no
There was no Liv
Natalia.
Morgan.
There
Yeah.
was no Austin Theory. It's so funny. Somebody tweeted, "Is does Austin Theory have fucking COVID?" And somebody said wrong scandal. And then I remember it's these
Yeah.
girls tweeted that when they were underage, Austin Theory tried to fuck
Yeah,
them.
yeah. He doesn't have COVID. He has the case of the sexual harassment. That's what he has a
Yeah.
case of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting him to be on the show. I was like, yeah, it made sense he wasn't on. Um, Here's the thing with Liv Morgan and Natalia and even Randy Orton.
Randy
Um,
Orton wasn't there,
they
which we'll get
they
into.
were
That shit.
yeah, they weren't there, but they were mentioned, which is very
Mm-hmm.
different, you know. But I guess we should just get into this.
Yeah, let's start talking. Then as we will take case by case basis. Yeah.
Yeah. So Raw opens up with Sasha Banks and Bailey just fighting Asuka.
No.
This
Oh yeah.
opening is out of control. There's supposed to be a
Mm-hmm.
contract signing, and they're just fighting. Joe standing in the ring, looking like a doofus, just watching these women fight. Dolph
Yeah.
Ziggler comes out, and then he calls out Drew McIntyre. So they're doing a double contract signing. It's going to be Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler at Extreme Rules Horror Show, and it's going to be Sasha Banks versus
Oscar.
Asuka at Extreme Rules. And Dolph basically, um, he speaks with the microphone right up against his fucking chin. It's gross. And then says a bunch of nonsense. And then Drew basically goes, I'll let you pick the stipulation of the match. I'll let you pick what kind of match it is. And they all sign contracts. What do you think? What kind of match do you think it's going to be? Drew versus Dolph Ziggler at Extreme Rules.
I would say cage, but I don't think in a cage in the Performance Center. Oh no, they could. They did that. They did do it with NXT. Either a
But this is
cage.
a Extreme Rules horror show. Is this going to be like the whole thing is going to be cinematic, you think?
No. I think just I think the horror show thing refers to Braun Strowman's match. No, I think it's gonna be like a Extreme Rules match or a whatchamacallit, a cage match or something. I think used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then we get Angel Garza, and he's trying to
Oh,
talk
I
to.
just have to say, I thought the
Yes.
segment. I thought the beginning was good, but I thought everything
Really?
with Dolph was horrible. Well, the way they kicked off the show was interesting, but once Dolph started cutting that promo, and everyone's just sitting there. He's like, "I knew you in 2018."
Dude, why is the microphone like right on his fucking lips?
I thought
So
that part
disgusting.
was garbage. But the beginning with Sasha and Asuka beating each other up was kind of cool. So.
Yeah. Not only is that disgusting, but it's also like right now in the era we're in, you should not be doing shit like that.
They
Anyway,
don't care.
yeah.
There's a million things tonight that prove that they don't give a fuck.
No, they do not care.
They do
Then we
not give.
get
They do not give one little bit of a fuck.
they don't give a fuck about anything. Look who's in charge. You gotta follow the leader. Angel Garza, and he's flirting with Jessica Carr, the referee, but to no avail. After all, she thinks Ivar's cute. Charlie Cruiser comes and she's like, "Hey, what's that about?" Ma. And Vega's group, they're getting ready for a match. Big Show comes out and he goes, "Hey, I'm pulling rank," and he cuts them off because he wants to go to the ring to cut up. He calls out Randy Orton and stuff, and then Selena Vega's group comes out and they surround the ring, and then Ric Flair comes out. I was so surprised by this. He comes out, stands in the entranceway, and talks shit to Big Show, and then Viking Raiders come out. Before we get into the match, what did you think about this? Were you surprised to see Ric Flair show
Well,
up?
they tweeted he was going to be there. Let me just tell you this, and then Rick Flair. I'm sorry, Charlotte posted a picture of her dropping Ric Flair at the restaurant. No masks, no social distancing. I'll say this. First of all, it's very apparent that Randy Orton either has COVID or said to them, "Fuck this, I'm leaving," or pulled a Roman Reigns and said, like, "I'm not coming back until this shit's taken care of."
Your voice got a little low there. What did you say?
I said he probably said, "Fuck this." Either he has COVID or he said, "Fuck this, I'm not coming back until this is taken care of." He left. But here's the deal: you have all of these COVID positives, and then you bring in Ric Flair, and Ric Flair is like he's on a lot of segments.
Ric Flair is 71, right?
Yeah, and he has health conditions, and
he had like heart conditions, correct?
Yeah,
really bad. He was hospitalized last year, I would say, like really hospitalized.
Hulk Hogan is 20 times smarter than Ric Flair. Everybody can talk the shit they want about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan lives in Florida. If Hulk Hogan picked the phone right now and called Vince and said, "Hey, can I be part of the show?" I'm positive Vince would write him in to do shit.
Oh, 100%.
Because, but Hogan, who could probably drive to the fucking Performance Center, is like, "No, I'm not doing that." Ric Flair is so fucking stupid at his age to be doing this shit. Randy Orton is like my age. He's your age. And he's like, "Fuck this, I'm going home." And your old ass is going to like do the work for him on the mic. But here's the other part I want to say. I love Ric Flair. I think Ric Flair is one of the best wrestlers of all time. And at any other given moment, I would be sad if Ric Flair died. Let me tell you something. If Ric Flair dies of COVID and I want his whole family here, I'm not going to give a fuck. And I'll tell you why. Because the world has warned you. The country has warned you. The state has warned you. These numbers are not made up. This disease is not made up. You have chosen to allow your father, Charlotte, and David Flair to go to this. Ric Flair's wife, you chose it. So if he gets COVID and dies on a respirator or has to be on a respirator the rest of his life, I'm not going to care because you had warnings. And Ric Flair, you've had warnings and you chose to do this. I'm not going to be like, what a tragedy or how sad. I'm going to be like, fuck you.
Here's one thing I think is happening. I think Ric Flair himself is choosing to be on these shows.
But then that's when the company and when people like Charlotte need to step in and be like, you can't be on this show because there's a worldwide pandemic.
I agree. So when Ric Flair, who I think really loves wrestling, and he's like, I want to be a part of the show, this is where if you are responsible and you are really a caring person, you say, this is my company, and I say no, get the fuck home.
Yeah.
But we
If
all know
Randy
Junior doesn't care.
If Randy Orton doesn't want to be there because of Corona, that doesn't mean you get a 71-year-old man to do the fucking work for him.
Junior does not care about Ric Flair's life. When he looks at Ric Flair, all he sees are dollar signs. That's all he sees.
And I guarantee you, we're gonna have you're gonna have these fucking crocodile tears from everybody in the wrestling business if Ric Flair fucking dies of Corona. I'm not gonna give a fuck. And hey, listen, I'd be very sad if Ric Flair died in any other circumstances. Even
I'll
if
be
like
sad,
COVID,
but it's just...
I'm gonna be like, dude, it's like, it's like if there's a building on fire for like 4 days, right? And then you walk into the building that's on fire on the 4th day. It's like,
no.
Why would you do that?
I know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying. I understand. I'm just saying I'll still be sad. I'll just be like, still.
Well, I'll be sad that his family and him didn't give a shit about him, or like they were so fucking stupid.
Yeah. All right, let's go to match number 1. It's Angel Garza and Andrade versus the Viking Raiders. There's a moment in this match where Andrade gets really mad about a tag, and he gets mad about Angel Garza about some kind of tag issue, and he tries to walk out. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I was like, what tag issue was there? You come back. Selena Vega was able to come talking back into the match during commercial break. The match keeps happening. Andrade hits Eric with that amazing back elbow, and then Angel hits the wing clipper on Eric for the win. Angel Garza and Andrade, they're not happy being in a tag team, but they won this first match. It was all right. I don't enjoy this Angel Garza Andrade.
I fucking hate this match. And let me just say this. The more I think about this, was not a good Raw. This was a very destructive Raw towards what the fuck they're doing. Here's the other thing too. This is what pissed me off, is that people are getting sick. You're putting people's lives at risks, and you're doing it all. You're not producing Attitude Era Raws. You don't have. Look, in '98, I would understand putting everybody at risk to have Austin and Rock cut promos. I would totally get it. Like, okay, but you're doing all this and putting on the worst, most counterproductive bullshit on the fucking planet. Like, you're literally disobeying quarantine rules. You're literally putting your entire roster at risk of death, including fucking Ric Flair. And you're doing it all for nothing. Because this fucking match, the Viking Raiders, who are an amazing tag team, lose cleanly to a tag team that can barely get along. They don't even like each other.
Yeah.
But somehow they beat the Viking Raiders. And these two guys are such fucking losers, they can't even fight the Big Show later. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I hated this fucking match.
This is WWE booking though, where
the Viking Raiders are below the Bushwhackers at this point.
Yeah. They lost to a tag team that can't even get along. And do you know what that moment was where Andrade got really mad about a tag? Like, what? I don't remember.
I don't understand why these guys are not getting along but still winning. That just looks awful.
I don't
understand. So fucking stupid.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's like they want to push Andrade, but they don't.
Yeah.
They don't push him.
Yeah.
They don't put him on fucking main event. I have a whole fucking rant about Ricochet later. But put Ricochet in the main. Anyway, keep going. I fucking hated this match. I fucking hated it.
All right. Then you get Ruby Riott. She's in the back. Iconics coming. They just bully the crap out of her. They're like bullying her. Hey, you're a loser. And then Ruby Riott makes an awesome comeback by imitating them. It's pointless. Then we get Vega's group. They're in the back. They're all talking. And then Ric Flair comes out. And he's like, hey, you guys did great. Putting his hand on a sweaty guy who just wrestled, getting really close to them. Be like, hey, let's come over here. I want to talk to you guys about something. This segment was out of control. This is the last time we're going to see Ric Flair tonight, by the way. It was only in 2 segments.
He went to the ICU right after.
The first one, and he was standing by the entranceway. There was nobody else there at the plexiglass. I was like, okay, they could use that argument. There's no argument in this segment.
There's no argument to use Flair. Yeah. There's no. You can literally have Triple H come out and cut these fucking promos right in New York. But you don't need Ric Flair.
Yeah. We got match number 2. Tozawa setting Japanese people back 20 years against R-Truth. R-Truth fakes an injury And as Tozawa is looking on, he rolls him up in a schoolboy for the win. R-Truth is your 70th 24/7 champion again. A bunch of ninjas try to attack him. He sidesteps all of them and then just runs away. This is a waste of time. This is just a waste of time.
It's a waste. Akira Tozawa should be arrested by the Japanese government.
This gimmick is not helping him at all because he's still fucking losing.
One of the most racist. Yeah. This is the most racist thing I've ever seen.
It's racist and it's racist and he's still losing. That's the whole like it doesn't help. It sucks. Then we get MVP and Bobby Lashley, and they're talking about Apollo Crews. And last week on Raw, Apollo Crews rejected for the final time MVP's offer, and talking about how like that offer's off the table, man. But tonight when I face Apollo Crews, I'm gonna show him. I'll teach him a little thing or two. And then he walked past Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins with no Austin Theory, and Buddy Murphy and Seth are gonna go to the ring. And in this ring, Seth cuts a promo where he's asking for forgiveness. And then Ray and Dominic are on the Tron. And there's a whole bunch of – everyone's just throwing these religious words. And they're usually using religious vernacular to fucking – spliced in with their fucking promo. And then Aleister Black and Humberto come out. Before we get into the match, what did you think about any of these fucking backstage segments? The MVP Lashley was good in my opinion. The rest of the shit was awful.
It's awful. I mean, you skipped it over, but I like the Ruby Riott thing earlier. I thought she showed personality for once.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
I thought she showed personality for once in her whole fucking career. I thought this segments were awful. I think this Seth Rollins promo was awful. Can I just tell you something? I have a theory. I think Seth Rollins is trying to lose his baby. Why is he still showing up to Raw when his girlfriend's pregnant?
Wait, his wife is showing up to Raw when his girlfriend's
pregnant? Why is Seth Rollins still showing up to Raw when his girlfriend is pregnant?
Maybe they're separated, like quarantine. I have no idea.
I think he's trying to lose the baby.
How can you lose the baby though?
Can't cope or cause the baby problems. I mean, why the fuck, if your woman is pregnant, are you showing up to Raw for this nonsense?
Why are any of them showing up to work?
I don't know. But it's not even good. It's not even good, this fucking storyline. It's not. He flies to Florida to cut the same promo for the last, 52 weeks.
I mean, none of this. I feel like these guys have been just in this feud for a long time.
Nothing happens.
You said you liked the Ruby Riott thing. I mean, I think I
liked her. I thought she showed personality.
I always liked Ruby, but I got nothing out of this promo. This backstage.
I mean, at least she hasn't shown personality since they hired her. So at least finally tonight she showed something.
Yeah. We go to match number 3. Aleister Black versus Humberto Carrillo versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. Basically, this match happens. It's not a bad match. This is a great moment where Buddy Murphy has he has Humberto up for like a powerbomb position, and Seth.
Oh, that was good. Yes, that was a good spot.
Hits a knee spot, and it turns into a powerbomb. Surprisingly, that's not a finish. I'm like, that could be like a tag team.
Yeah, that should probably be the finish.
Yeah, but it ends with hitting Seth Rollins hitting a stomp on Humberto. After just as soon as this match is over, they just keep fighting some more, and then Seth puts Rey Mysterio's mask on Humberto, and then he stomps his face into the steel steps. I could not get into this match at all because I'm just so sick and tired of seeing this feud. I was like tuning myself. I was tuning out of this match.
Yeah, this feud has to move. They haven't even announced that these guys have a match at Extreme Rules. It's like one of these two guys are gonna have a fucking match.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think this was supposed to be like a 3-on-3 originally, and then ever since the Austin Theory thing, they had to change it? I thought it was.
Ray might have corona.
Really?
I mean, he wasn't there. He was there last week. He's back home.
Yeah, but he's been kind of doing this 1 week on, 1 week off thing, and he just sends
or maybe Dominic has corona.
No, but they keep doing that thing where he's 1 week on, 1 week off. I just think that's his contract. He doesn't
I
have to
don't
work
know.
every fucking Raw.
I think he's dying of corona right now as we speak.
Oh.
I don't know. Everyone who was in the building, you have to think, did they have corona?
Yeah, I think.
They got mad at Renee Young for revealing she has corona.
Yeah, because it's an evil company. It's run by an evil man. Yeah.
They don't want most of the talent to reveal that they have.
They only. Here's okay. I understand people who want to like Junior because you grew up watching this company.
Yeah, this is like the only company around.
Yeah, I understand. I feel the same way. I used to make excuses for all the terrible things he used to do. And then got to a certain point where I was like, I can't make excuses for this guy anymore. This guy's a fucking evil, bad.
Yeah, after this weekend, you really can't.
Yeah, I just can't make excuses anymore. I'm like, dude, yeah, like it sucks, but it's true. He's just a fucking evil person. Let's go to so there's a Drew McIntyre Asuka backstage segment. They do a Taker recap from SmackDown. And then Ruby Riott, this segment I thought was kind of interesting, a little bit. Ruby Riott's there, and Lana comes out. And Lana is like, oh, it's been so hard. I couldn't even do a TikTok. But you know who's really great? Who's got the most wins out of any woman, any female wrestler they have is Natalya. And then
you know what's so funny about this segment?
Away. What? Yeah.
I thought when she kept saying, she has more wins than anyone, I thought she was about to say Tessa Blanchard or something.
So let's actually talk about that. That's a good point that you brought up. The rumors are that they're talking to her. Now, that WWE is talking to Tessa Blanchard, who just recently got fired off of Impact. Here's one thing, though, that I feel about that. I feel like there's a
Meltzer pointed the story.
Yes, and Smeltzer like 50% of the time he's fucking wrong. By the way,
he loves her. He loves Tessa Blanchard.
Here's the thing with Tessa. Here's the thing with this rumor, though. She could be just feeding them this information. Mm-hmm. It might not even be true. She could just be feeding them this stuff.
Here's what I think. I think that she wants to sign with WWE, but she wants to wait till after the pandemic, which is smart of her. I don't think she's going to leave Mexico. I don't think she's going to be able to in a few weeks anyway. I don't think she'll be able to leave Mexico to go to Florida every other fucking week to film shit. I think if there was no pandemic, she'd be signed right now because I don't think WWE gives a shit about the N-word shit.
N-word?
Yeah, I don't think they give a fuck about that. I think they like they see the last name. They can do two things with her, and both would fucking work. They could reform the Four Horsemen with her and Charlotte, right? Or they can have her and Charlotte wrestle, and those two could fucking main event WrestleMania. And when she's done with Charlotte, her and Becky Lynch could main event pay-per-views. Let
me ask you a question then. Why didn't they sign her to begin with?
Because she has attitude problems. But here's why they would sign her now. Because even if you only get her for a month, if you have Charlotte beat her, you can say Charlotte beat the only woman who won a men's world championship. Charlotte beat the shit out of her and chased her out of the company. That could always be something Charlotte says in promos.
You think that her winning the Impact title did raise her stock for the WWE?
Yes, because even if she's only there for a little bit, they can use her to put over one of their women and then get rid of her. Like, let's say you bring her you bring her in and she's automatically a cunt. All right, she's just like I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Let's say you bring her in. All you gotta do is get to the next pay-per-view, have Charlotte or Sasha or Bayley beat her, and then you fire her. Let's say she's just a fucking nightmare. I don't know, because I heard she has attitude problems. Let's say she doesn't learn anything and she's a fucking jerk-off. Then after she's fired, you can have Bayley say, you can always have the announcement that Bayley beat or Sasha or Becky or Charlotte beat the only woman who has the book. You know what I mean? It can always be a feather in their cap.
I would be very surprised if they signed her, but
I don't think she's gonna get signed until after the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't.
It would be a waste right now because she's not gonna come. And again, this could also be out of her control in a few weeks because of how bad everything's getting. She's not gonna be able to go back and forth between Mexico and Florida.
Yeah. I think such a evil, shitty company that anything's possible at this point. Yeah.
I think once the virus goes away, she's going to be a main eventer in that company, 100%. I really do.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind never hearing from her again.
Me neither, but I
wouldn't.
definitely think they're going to use her. But I think it's not till after this passes. And if this doesn't, you know what though? If the virus doesn't pass, you'll never see her again because she's stuck in Mexico.
Stuck in Mexico, yeah. And if you want to catch her, you can probably watch AAA or something like that.
Or buy some porn.
Or Crash or wherever she's working at. I don't know even where she's
They're
working.
even be able to have shows during this.
Yeah.
Mexico's getting really bad too, I heard.
Yeah, it's getting real bad over there. Oh, it's real bad. But here's another thing. In this promo in this segment between Lana and Ruby, they did mention Natalia. Natalia, didn't she ask not to be a part of these shows?
Yeah, but you can still build her up for when she returns.
But we don't know that's gonna be. That could be
I know,
months.
but I think Vince keeps thinking that these people are gonna be back next week.
Oh, so that's why you think they also mentioned Randy Orton. Well, yeah. Let me ask you a question then. What's the difference between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens? Because Kevin Owens did the same thing. How come they don't mention Kevin Owens?
I heard a bunch of stars. I heard a bunch of people walked out and said to Vince, when you have better safety protocols, we'll return. So I think Vince is probably putting in better safety protocols for the next taping, hoping they'll come back. People like Sheamus or Randy Orton and AJ Styles. They might not. And then you just move Big Show away. You have Ric Flair. I guess you have because Ric Flair did what fuck you want. You have Ric Flair come out with somebody else and he fights Big Show at Extreme Rules. They might not come back. I don't know. But Kevin
how come they're not mentioning like Kevin Owens, but they keep mentioning like a Randy Orton or a
because I think they think those people are going to come back.
But they don't think Kevin Owens is coming back.
Yeah, because Kevin Owens made it very clear he's not coming back. Same thing with Roman Reigns. He made a video about it. Yeah. So, now, if next week, I think they're filming like on Thursday or something. If when they get to Thursday, Friday,
this week.
Yeah.
They're filming on Thursday?
But here's the thing, WWE, like right now they're promoting Sheamus doing the toast on Friday. But WWE already knows that they can promote something and not deliver and no one's going to care. They've done that now a million times.
You
remember a year ago, Daniel Bryan was supposed to make a life-altering announcement on SmackDown and he never did it. And they just never brought it up. And they advertised it for like 2 weeks. You remember that?
This company has done this so many times.
So like times. Right now, they might have in their head Sheamus will be back, but if let's say they get to the SmackDown taping this week and Sheamus is like, I'm not coming back. This is fucking bullshit. They just won't mention it. They'll just have Jeff Hardy.
They dropped storylines out of nowhere. Remember when MVP was trying to manage Shane Thorne and Brendan Vick? Yeah. What happened? That just dropped out of nowhere.
That's what they'll do. That's what they'll. And they didn't say, by the way, in the video for SmackDown, they didn't say Bray Wyatt was going to be there on SmackDown. Yeah. So they could just always have like I don't know, like Baron Corbin walk out and be like, I want to fight you in the swamp, Braun Strowman.
For those of you who love WB and say how their shows are so good, they have no continuity. You guys do realize that. They just don't give a shit about continuity. Here's an example. They hit that thing where there was Brendan Vick and Shane Thorne getting managed by MVP. They teased this for like 2 weeks and then they just dropped it with no explanations, nothing. Now, here's a different approach. On AEW, they had Bunny managing Butcher and Blade. They just dropped that as well. But here's the difference. They keep bringing it up on the commentary. When Allie's there, they keep bringing up Butcher and Blade. Letting the viewers know this is not over. This is not forgotten about. We will probably eventually get to it. WWE does nothing of that sort at all.
I guarantee you if Randy Orton says I'm not coming back, they're just going to have fucking Big Show feud with, like, I don't know, fucking Shelton Benjamin. And Ric Flair will just come out and be like, I love Shelton Benjamin. He's an electric killer, too.
Actually, that's another name, Shelton Benjamin. How come he wasn't on the show tonight? I guess we'll have to see.
Because they have him on main event. Yeah. I got to rant about these guys like him in a second, but we'll get to that.
All right.
Because I don't want to waste my rant.
Okay. So, we go to match number 4.
By the way, Shane Thorne's been wrestling in main event, by the way.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of main event.
Liv Morgan had a good match with Natalya.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's only like 1 or 2 matches. It's 2 matches usually.
I've got a rant coming, but I want to save it for the right match.
All right. We got Ruby Riott versus Peyton Royce, match number 4. Peyton Royce hits a spinning vertical suplex for the win. They call it a spinning brainbuster. It is not a brainbuster. Spinning vertical suplex. What do you call it? I think Gold does. Gold does this finishing move. He did. It's an all right match. It's whatever. Peyton Royce is so doesn't look natural in the ring. That's the best way I can say it. Does not look natural.
Yeah, no, I like. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I hope they're not going to reunite Liv Morgan with Ruby Riott because Liv Morgan is really good lately. I don't want her to. I think they got some Liv Morgan and they don't realize it, which is weird to me because she's blonde. She's Vince's type.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they had something with Ricochet. They had something with Cedric. They'll just fuck it up, dude. They fuck everything up. So they'll probably put her back with Ruby. They probably will. I did like
Ruby tonight. I was never a fan of Ruby and I liked what she was doing tonight. But that's the whole other story.
Ruby's on quite a losing streak, by the way.
I know she's losing horribly.
She's losing a lot.
And they don't mind telling you what a loser she is every
yeah.
episode.
At this point, putting her back together with Liv Venex might be better for them.
If Sarah Logan's rehired.
No, well, actually, you know how we talked about why is AEW not hiring Sarah Logan? I think she's done.
She's taking a break.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why she doesn't want to wrestle.
By the way, even though Tessa Blanchard said the N-word and Tony Khan is pretending that he cares about black people, I do think AEW needs Tessa Blanchard more than WWE does. I think they really need her.
You know, it'd be really funny. You know, we'll know what kind of a man Tony Khan is based on if he hires her or not.
I think they genuinely 1,000% need her. Even with attitude problems, they need her.
Oh yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. We'll genuinely see what kind of a person Tony Khan is based on whether or not they sign her or not. Because here's the thing, they do need her. But what's more important, money or principles, right? Because you put a ban on people for fucking being anti-black, and here's someone who's
work there.
Yeah, who's clearly proven that she is, and they're like, "Oh, our division needs her." Fucking.
They do need her though. Like I would honestly put, if I was Tony Khan, I would put aside what she said and hire her.
Yeah, and I would be like,
she could also wrestle men at this point, and she'd be good. So.
All right, so we get Big Show's interviewed about the Selena Vega's group and Ric Flair. He's like, yeah, Ric Flair, he's always got blah, blah, blah. And they go to match number 5, Big Show versus Angel, Garza, and Andrade. By the way, Big Show was fucking up their names during the interview, which I thought was really funny. We got Angel and we got Garza. Angel, Garza, and Andrade. I was just like, what the fuck? Angel Garza and Andrade are just arguing back and forth. This is not even a match at this point. They're just like doing the storyline of like, no man, you, no man, me, no man, you, me. And then eventually, this time it's Angel Garza who gets annoyed because they're both not doing anything against Big Show. Angel Garza finally starts getting some offense on Big Show, just pounding him. Andrade makes a tag in. They get into a little fight. Angel walks off. Andrade's like, why, man? Why you leaving me? Turns around, gets a choke slam by the Big Show. I'm assuming this partnership is now officially done.
How can it be done when they just defeated the Viking Raiders clean? So you're telling me that a tag team that can't get along, they can't beat the Big Show, but they can beat the fucking Viking Raiders, which you basically have said on the show the Viking Raiders are the biggest fucking losers on the fucking planet. I hated this match. I don't know what. The only reason they had this match is because they didn't have enough people in the roster, and they were just like, "Fuck it, put these two back out again." Why are these two breaking up after they just beat the Viking Raiders?
Did they break up? It looked like they broke up, right?
Well, you know what it would be like? It would be like if the Brain Butt, I'm trying to think here. So Demolition was a very dominant tag team, and the Brain Busters beat them. It would be like the Brain Busters beat Demolition, then immediately turned on one another. But why would you have to beat Demolition?
But you got the impression they did break up, right? I have no idea.
I got the impression that there's problems, but if these guys keep arguing and they beat the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, what does that say about the tag team division?
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when, Tozawa was in the leaderboard in the Cruiserweight tournament, but then he'd be jobbing on Raw.
Yeah,
what is this saying about these fucking Cruiserweights who can't beat Tozawa? I was like,
They don't know what they're doing. It's fun. It's really bad.
dude, Viking Raiders have fallen so hard.
I know it's your fault.
I wonder, like, who they pissed off. They pissed
But I
off
don't think they
someone.
did. I think they think they're doing these guys a favor.
Oh, well, something happened. We get Apollo Crews. He's backstage with Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, and R-Truth comes out. He's like looking around for ninjas, and then he goes, "Hey, I need a superhero, and I got my own superhero right here." And he points at Ricochet, and he goes, "The superhero, Reginald Shade." That shit was funny as hell. He called him Reginald Shade.
That's
Um,
funny.
that's about it. That's basically what's that segment. I thought that was really funny. MVP cuts a promo on Apollo Crews in the ring. Apollo Crews comes out, cuts a promo on him. It leads to match number 6, MVP versus Apollo. MVP hits. Apollo gets distracted by Bobby Lashley, and MVP hits a really shitty-looking fisherman suplex for the win. He hit a fisherman suplex and won. And then as soon as the match is over, Apollo Crews starts attacking MVP. Lashley comes and hits a full Nelson. Ricochet and Cedric come in and break it up, which is going to lead to match number 7. Before I get into that, anything about any of those promos?
I fucking hated the fact that Apollo lost MVP. I fucking hated it. But I hate the next thing more. Keep going.
So then you had Lashley versus Ricochet. I actually thought this match was very good. This match was really good. In the beginning of this match, Lashley is just tossing Ricochet all over the place. Like fucking just picking him, just chucking him up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
He takes him outside, throws him to the ring post. Ricochet just like spins out, lands on the floor. I'm thinking this is just going to be a squash. All of a sudden, Ricochet starts getting the offense in and getting some good offense in. He's fucking tripping up Lashley and shit. It's looking good. MVP tries. There's a point where he goes up on top. MVP tries to get up on the apron, distract him. Cedric pulls him off. Unfortunately, he can't stop the power of Lashley. Lashley just like starts hitting him some more. He's got blood splattered all over him, and he's roaring at him. Hits the full Nelson, and he wins the match. Afterwards, he puts the full Nelson on Cedric as well, kind of jobbing them out at the end. I liked it because I was expecting just like a complete squash. It wasn't. It got interesting in the middle. It's very fast paced, very hard hitting match. Lashley with the blood and everything looked like a beast. He looked like a real beast.
I didn't fucking like it. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Why didn't you like it?
I thought they made these guys look like fucking idiots. I thought they made Cedric and Ricochet look like fucking idiots. The other thing about this match that I didn't fucking like was, all right,
What?
so most of your company has COVID. Wrestlers are leaving. You have Ricochet. This is the time when you need to push Ricochet. Because if he's still willing to come into work when all the shit's going down, then you need to get behind him because this guy's fucking talented. Instead, what do? You treat him and Cedric like fucking goofballs to Bobby Lashley. He looked like a fucking... The announcers were shitting on him on the commentary. If you listen to the announcers, they weren't kind to Ricochet. They were acting like he's fucking Zack Ryder. And the same was the submission victory. I didn't like it. I didn't like the match. I think it made Ricochet look like a fucking idiot. They did a lot of damage to people. They buried people tonight that there was no reason to bury because half your fucking roster walked out. So there's no fucking reason to bury. Like you can have Viking Raiders lose to Andrade. Like Ruby Riott, she lost to Peyton Royce. She didn't bury her. You didn't make her look a fucking idiot. They've made Ricochet and Cedric and fucking Viking Raiders look like fucking idiots. And it's like, you got to get behind these guys. Everyone's leaving or dying or whatever. I don't know. If Ricochet's willing to come into work, make him look a little bit better.
I mean, you could make the same argument for a lot of guys, though. Tozawa.
But Tozawa's not Ricochet.
Tozawa's pretty good. They
He's
both
Ricochet.
came up in. They both came up through. They both went through Dragon Gate.
But what I'm saying is like, this is the time you should give Ricochet a push because everyone's leaving.
I would say Tozawa has way more charisma than Ricochet.
No, people like Ricochet a lot better. You're right.
I mean, charisma. I'm talking about charisma.
I think Ricochet is
more
charisma.
athletic.
I think
No,
Ricochet
because
is
that
charisma.
was way more charismatic. But regardless, none of those guys should be treated the way they are right on the show. I agree with you on that part. Viking Raiders, Ricochet, Cedric.
Well, Akira Tozawa looked better than Viking Raiders and Ricochet tonight.
That's true. I will give you that.
I just don't know why you have to have the Viking Raiders lose clean like that to guys who are later on the night going to break up and get the shit beat out of them at Big Show. Just
Let me ask you a
doesn't
question.
make any sense.
You know what I would do? I would have Austin Theory on this show jobbing out to these fucks. That's what I would do. As like punishment, I'll be like, you're going to be jobbing left and right.
But here's the deal. Like they say, we don't like Vince Pritchard always goes, oh yeah, we hired this guy, gave him this huge contract just to job him out. I think when Vince doesn't like you, or Vince sees you a certain way, he'll like job you out just because you're his toy, and he's like bored with you. So like he may like the Viking Raiders as goofy like characters,
yeah,
but he doesn't see them as a threat to him. And so he's making that very clear in his TV show.
Yeah, I think Junior's an idiot.
Same thing with Ricochet.
Yeah, he don't see Ricochet pissed somebody off. I don't know.
Ricochet might have been injecting Corona in everybody the way they treat him. I don't know what the fuck he did.
Yeah. You know, if I was now is not obviously a good time to leave because, you know, obviously.
I mean, why not? It's a perfect time to leave. You might die of Corona if you stay.
But I would say I feel like someone like Ricochet, I think if you were to just like leave, I think you could get a job with AEW. 100%.
I think so.
Yeah, 100%.
But they'll make it hard. But see, they don't see anything in him, but they also don't want him to go because they know that he could do something with it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I can't say that about everybody on the roster, but for Ricochet, I definitely can say that. Dolph Ziggler, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, they're getting ready for their match, which is match number 8. Drew McIntyre and Asuka versus Dolph and Sasha Banks. Asuka puts Sasha Banks in the Asuka lock, and she turns it into a cover, and Sasha Banks wins the match. Let me ask you a question. This match was just basic. It's a basic match to me. Mixed tag match. Sasha Banks and Asuka, have they ever wrestled in a singles match before?
Yeah, on Raw once.
Raw once, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this match that they're gonna have could be really good. They had good chemistry in this match today.
Yeah, it could be really good. Yeah. You're right.
If you give them a lot of time, just let them do what they want. I think you have a good match. Now, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Drew is a champion with no challengers.
Well, I think they should have kept him going with Bobby Lashley.
They should what?
They should have kept him fighting Bobby Lashley into Extreme Rules.
I hate seeing the repeat matches, though. I know,
but those two had a good feud going.
Possibly, yeah. He has no challengers right now.
The rumor is that Brock is going to come back for SummerSlam and beat him.
When SummerSlam next month?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to beat him for the title. It's like Brock's going to get it back.
Yeah. That's the rumor. I don't think Brock's leaving this house during Corona.
No, I don't think. I think Brock is going to laugh at that. Risk his health? No. He's got health issues. Remember? He had
diverticulitis.
Yeah, he had the I forgot what he had. He
almost died in the Canadian healthcare system.
Yeah. Oh, he had gold diggeritis. That's right. He has gold diggeritis.
Well, I read an interview with him, and he was shitting on the Canadian healthcare system. And in other words, it was like literally, he said it was like going to the 7-Eleven. It was like, I need help right away. And they're like, yeah, you'll get it eventually. And he's like yelling, and they're like, buddy, it's free here, so you have to wait. And he almost died because of how shitty the Canadian healthcare system is. I don't know. He like kind of like when I read his interview, like what he went into detail what he went through, because this is like 2007, 2008, And it was like, oh, that's why we don't do universal health care here. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. I know a lot of people, but what he went through was scary. I mean, but I have free health care. I have great service.
You have free healthcare?
Yeah,
How do you get free healthcare?
I just got it. I don't know.
It's free? No,
Yeah.
someone's paying for it. That's bullshit.
No one's paying for it. I'm free, buddy.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I applied for it in 2007, and it's been 2017. It's been free. You know when it costs money? If I applied for it, and I was, dude, you know how much it was going to cost me when I worked at Caroline's full time as a manager? $400 a fucking month, and I was making dog shit at that place, as you know. And now that I'm not working, it's free. Let me tell you something. It pays not to work.
At this
There's
point,
so many more programs for you when you're not working.
Yeah. This Raw was forgettable. Don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
Don't watch it. It makes me feel bad because it's like these guys are risking their lives to put on a terrible show.
Maybe watch it if it might be like Ric Flair's last televised appearance. That's the only reason why you would have to check in.
Dude, I'm so shell shocked. I get angry, but I can't get angry like I was on Friday because it's like.
Wait, you were angry on Friday?
When we did our podcast, I was upset that these guys had to film wrestling.
Oh, you weren't angry. You were just like.
Well, I get upset, but it's like they just don't care. Nobody cares, and it's gonna be exhausting when someone dies from this and they all act sad, and I have to be like, dude, literally everyone saw this coming. Why are you acting like this is a surprise? You know?
Yeah, I'll probably be off social media.
Everyone's going, oh, Ric Flair died. I can't believe it.
People are sheep. People are sheep, man. They talk about how they hate racism, and they're talking about Black Lives Matter and stuff. And I'm not saying that's not important, but how come nobody's talking about how like fucking there's a football team called the fucking Redskins?
Well, no. Here's my thing. People are saying like Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter or whatever the fuck you want to say. But then, like, you know, like I posted when I was fighting with people on Cody Rhodes's Twitter, I said, hey, I know like 20 people that died of this, and people just went like, fuck you, you're full of shit. That's not real. So like nobody cares about people that died of COVID. Like nobody wants to hear that. If you tell people, I do know a lot of people that have died of this now. Like nobody wants to hear that. They're like, fuck you, it's not even real. But like I have to like cry for some kid who got shot, and I will cry for some kid who got shot. But I'm saying, like, but nobody wants to cry for these people. There's people dying of COVID. People are actually dying of fucking COVID. Everyone goes out of their way to diminish their deaths, which is fucking weird to me. Why I cry if you get shot?
That's just the world we live in.
Well, the world, yeah. So tomorrow, Impact. I'm very curious. You're gonna be around for Impact, right?
Oh yeah, Impact and AEW Dark.
Yeah, no more Carneyland.
No Carneyland.
I'm curious what Impact does. I feel like it's gonna be mostly like best of matches because I feel like every segment's gonna be edited.
I'm a very religious person, and let me tell you, the Lord answers prayers.
I know.
That's why
Elgin's gone. Tessa's gone.
Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan and David Christ.
That group is gone.
Yeah.
I think cancel culture is gone.
But they filmed all this stuff already, so they're gonna have to like edit the shit out of it for tomorrow. Or
they might just not show those matches.
Well, you could always show like more best ofs.
Yeah. Because
and then announce it, and then have like Josh Marshall in his basement. And what's his name?
Supposedly, there's just a rumor. Anderson and Gallows were signed.
I heard they already filmed some stuff for Impact Plus, so they're in.
Did you see how I was watching Impact last week?
The Aces and 8. I think they're
not just that when they were doing that little video of the guy watching the news about the people who got fired. They spliced in a really quick clip of Leo Rush.
Yes.
Yeah, Leo Rush. Why would they do that all of a sudden? Unless I think Leo Rush would be a great addition to Impact. X Division. Oof, he's fucking fantastic.
Leo Rush, Eric Young, EC3, and Aces and 8s.
When you say Aces and 8s, you mean
that's what I'm going to call Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows.
Okay, and then and Rusev, right? 6 people.
I would try to get Rusev too. Yeah, those 6 would be.
What about Heath Slater?
No. Let him go to AEW.
Okay. What about Curtis Axel?
No.
What about who was the other person? Oh, Ryder and Hawkins.
Hard no. That ship has sailed.
Okay. Who else was fired?
Eric Young. But Eric Young's a TNA guy. Bring him back. Oh, Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. I would let him go to AEW too. I don't know.
Yeah, Eric Rowan.
I think he's going to show up in the Braun Strowman match.
Here's the thing: you already have like Madman Fulton. You don't need Eric Rowan in that role. You already have big lumbering.
Yeah, let him join the Dark Order.
Yeah. Is Kurt Angle back with WWE?
They offered him. He said no, but I don't think Kurt Angle. What is he going to do in TNA? He can barely move. How's he?
I know I wouldn't sign him as a wrestler. I wouldn't sign him at all. He can't wrestle. Who else was let go?
You were.
What about ACH? Is he done?
Yeah, he's been done for a while. They should bring in Jack Gallagher and have him rape. What's her name? Deanna Pursuza.
You know what they should do? They should hire him so he could give a shoot interview.
You're dumb, run! I raped everyone. I'm gonna rape you. All right. Well, that's Raw. Tomorrow night we'll be back with Impact, which we'll have plenty to talk about because the wrestling world is falling apart before our eyes. For Andrew, the whole world. For Andrew Lee, this is Ray Gootz telling you thank you, good night, go fuck yourselves.
Keep praying, guys.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.